Hey Vince, congratulations on your article making the front page of the paper. I think you're going to get a lot of feedback as the topic is an excellent one that needs a lot of discussion and communication to hopefully resolve some of the unanswered questions behind this issue. As you see here, this is actual footage of John Valente throwing in slow motion, who made the cover story. And the biggest issue that's not addressed in your article is mechanics. So there's a lot of criticism of coaches letting pitchers throw 100 plus pitches, but the reality is someone who's got bad mechanics throwing 50 pitches is doing a lot more harm to their arm than someone who's throwing 100 pitches with clean mechanics. So if coaches should be criticized of anything, it's not doing a better job of giving their pitchers better mechanics by using such technology as this that breaks down mechanics in a slow motion format, and hopefully the coach is knowledgeable enough to provide some feedback to the kid about how to clean up his mechanics. As far as there's more control at the college level, as Max Bruckner mentioned, that's going to depend on the college program. When Pat Carey and I came in at Iona in 2006, there were 6 pitchers in a 2-year period from the previous coach's program that had Tommy John or other surgeries. And some of that comes back to the off-season training and the mentality of, I want to throw 90, so I'm going to power lift, and I'm going to do certain workouts that's going to put actual more pressure on my arm, rather than maybe doing some mechanical drills that'll make me more fluid and loose through my delivery. But instead, I'm going to muscle up and go max effort every time I throw the ball, which is ultimately going to lead to some pressure on the elbow, other ligaments, and the rotator cuff. The pitch counts within a specific inning is another thing that's not addressed in the article. For instance, a kid who averages 18 pitches in an inning for 6 innings would have a total of 108 pitches. Very different than a kid who suddenly has a 45-pitch inning in the 5th inning, who should probably come out in the middle of that bad inning. So just looking at the sheer number of pitches can be a little misleading. In addition, what is the weather? Is it a cold day in April, or is it a 92-degree day in early June in the playoffs? Has the pitcher been working up to a certain pitch count? Maybe he's been throwing in January and February 40-pitch bullpens off an elevated mound, so that when he gets to mid-April, throwing 85 pitches is not a big deal, versus the kid who hasn't had an incremental increase over the preceding weeks or months. The off-season training program is an important one, and Ron Gama makes a great point about no off-season, not letting the arm rest, overuse injuries. But we also need to think about what are the players doing in terms of a pyramid of training to get their bodies, not just their pitching arms, ready to be in peak performance come April, May, June. And we have to look at kids on an individual basis. Some kids are more resilient, fluid, and wiry, and frankly have a higher threshold for tolerance of pain, like a John Valente, versus another kid who may not have that same frame, who's frankly not as athletic, so therefore he's going to put more undue pressure on his body parts. And if we take a look at the Japanese and how they throw daily, it would be very easy to be critical of their training regimen. But a lot of it is, what have we mentally prepared players for? You're going to throw daily 50 pitches or 35 pitches versus you're only going to throw once a week, and on that day you're going to throw 100 pitches. If the body gets used to that, maybe it works. If the body gets used to throwing 35 pitches a day, 6 days a week, maybe that works. And I do think we need to put some more onus on the parents and on the players themselves to communicate. My arm's tired. Not only did I pitch twice this week, but I've been playing shortstop. And at practice, we worked on double cuts, and I threw the ball 25 times from shallow outfield to home plate and third base, and my arm's hanging, coach. So players need to communicate better, and we have to expect them to do a better job of that. If you'd like to talk to me at greater length about this, Vince, and anyone else, you can get me at coachgurney@gmail.com. But great topic, and congratulations on an article that I'm sure is going to get you a lot of feedback.